Hello, Coordinate, hope all is well with you. And this Facebook Live I've called, What Do You Look Like? As part of my Passion Profits series, about how to turn your passion into profit online. And in a previous video, which you may have seen, or you can go back into my videos and see, I called, What Do You Sound Like? And this one I've called, What Do You Look Like? You might know where I'm going with it. Because normally when people say, what do you look like? It's either because you haven't made any effort at all and you look like a tramp. What do you look like? Or you've made too much effort and you're a bit like mutton dressed as lamb. What do you look like? Or you could be old, like me, trying to wear the clothes that are fashionable for 20-year-olds, which I've never done, by the way, even when I was 20, and people might say, what do you look like? But the point I'm making is, instead of saying, what do you look like, is the question, what do you look like? And in the video, what do you sound like? I spoke about the fact that when we actually hear our voice back, played back to us in our ears for the first time, it can be one almighty shock because we think, oh God, I don't sound like that, do I? Well, yes, you do. And the same thing applies when you see yourself back on a video. You might look at yourself back in the video and think, oh God, I don't look like that, do I? And the answer is, yes, you do look like that. Now, there are caveats, because I'm using my phone to shoot this video and I'm using the front-facing selfie camera. So everything is back to front. So that's my left hand and that's my right hand. And that means that my face is mirrored as well. Obviously, when we do look at ourselves in the mirror, it's a mirrored image. So in that respect, we're sort of familiar with what we look at, with what we look like. But that's looking at it ourselves. When we're looking at a video recording of us played back, we can sort of step away from ourselves because it's not a mirror image of us talking. We're looking at it from another party, if that makes sense. And what you might find is that you've got tics, little habits that you do when you talk, and I know I've got them. I definitely have got them. Now, a lot of little tics don't make any difference. Some little tics make such a big difference that they overwhelm what you're actually saying. And that's the point I'm making. I made it in the video called, What Do You Sound Like? And I'm making it in the video, this video, called, What Do You Look Like? Because I'm going to go with, it doesn't matter. To a large extent, okay? Because when you're doing live video or a pre-recorded video for social media, the whole point about social media is that it's engagement with the genuine, authentic you and the genuine, authentic person watching. If they want to watch a pre-recorded video, you know, they can go to YouTube or buy a DVD or something like that. The whole point of videos on social media is that it's the real person and it's a real connection. They don't want to see slick and professional, especially if at the end of it, via my online passion profits model, there's some kind of monetization call to action or monetization button or link to go to. People don't want to feel as though they're being taken in through a sales video, a sales patter or a slick pitch. They want to feel as though they're actually having a conversation with someone. So that's why, to a large extent, to a huge extent, it doesn't matter what you look like. Now, if you're doing a professional video, or it's offline in a professional setting, say if you're working for, you know, the BBC or something, then of course it matters. You won't get the job unless you've got a certain look. Whether that's right or whether that's wrong, it is what it is. And in that kind of situation, yes, it definitely matters. And when it comes to social media, although I say to a large extent it doesn't matter, here's what I mean about that small extent when it matters, and that is you don't want to have distractions. So you might notice, or you might have wondered why, a lot of my videos have just got a blank background. And that's actually because A, I want to focus and I want people to focus on what I'm actually saying. And B, presently, funnily enough, I haven't got anything else that I think is suitable that is going to be non-distracting. You could actually have anything in the background. You could be in a kitchen, you could be in a living room, you could be in a bedroom. I really don't think you want to be in a bedroom, but what you don't want is a load of mess and clutter behind you. You certainly don't want a pile of washing on an ironing board, for example. That is going to be distracting, and that is also perhaps going to start planting some kind of message in the viewer's mind about you. And that's not what you're doing the social media videos for. You're doing the social media videos to put across your message. Not to have them talk about your pile of dirty washing on the ironing board. So in that respect, that's where I would say it does matter, because you don't want to have distractions going on. But apart from that, what do you look like? A, it doesn't really matter. And B, if you're shocked about what you look like when you see yourself back, it is exactly the same as what you sound like when you hear yourself. You're going to have to get used to it. The first time you hear yourself back, the first time you see yourself back, in all likelihood, you'll be thinking, oh dear, I can't bear to look at that. And it actually is so uncomfortable to almost be unbearable. Here's the news. You're going to have to get through that. And as I said in the What Do You Sound Like video, think of having a conversation. When you're having a conversation with someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, a work colleague, someone in a shop, a bus driver, anyone, when you're having that conversation, at the front of your mind probably isn't what you look like, is it? You're just having a conversation on autopilot. And that, if you can do that on social media, you're really in the groove, where actually you're just having a conversation. Now, having said that, it's absolutely true that when you start doing it, it can be a bit unnerving because it's a one-way conversation. You're having a conversation with a camera lens. And normally when you're having a conversation with someone else, you get an instant feedback because you can see their face, or they will talk back to you, or you can be quiet to let them speak. Those things don't apply sometimes in social media, or if you're recording a video by yourself to your device. You're just looking at a camera lens. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go with it. Here's a little tip. This drives me out of the wall. Is when people do this and they look at themselves on the screen. So can you see the difference? They look at themselves on the screen and they're talking to themselves because they're used to talking to themselves in the mirror, and they're not looking at the camera on the device. So the person who's watching ends up thinking, well, hang on, who the hell are they talking to? And once you've got used to that, by the way, you will find it very distracting when you see someone talking to camera, or they think they're talking to the camera, but they're actually looking at themselves in the screen. Just thought I'd throw that little tip out there. I wasn't going to do tips in this video. I thought I might leave actual tips for other videos. But the point I wanted to make was about it doesn't really matter, apart from those small distractions. You don't want to be distracting in the background. And B, if you find it uncomfortable looking at yourself back on video, get used to it. And how do you get used to it? Well, you do it again, and then you do it again and again. And of course, with Facebook Lives, what you can do is you can set it to only show to yourself. Brilliant. So you can set it to only me, and then it'll only appear on your feed. You can watch it back, and then if you don't like it, guess what? You can just delete it. So it's not even as though you think, oh my God, it's going out live. I've only got one chance. I've got to get it right. No, that's not true. And until you get past that stage, if you want to just do them practice runs as set to only displaying to you, well, do it. That's what I call the staggering abundance of opportunity that we get with the internet. You can do all that for free as long as you've got an internet connection. And by the way, if you want to find out more about turning your passion into profit online, you can go over to the website onlinepassionprofits.com/chat. And over there you can see a 3-2-1 breakdown presentation that I did, which covers the fundamentals of turning passions into profit. We're nearing the end of March, obviously, as I'm recording this. I'm actually going to be redoing that webinar in April. Part of me is thinking about the idea of redoing it every single month, but I'm certainly going to be redoing it in April because I want to cover the 3-2-1 fundamentals and also my passion profit twist. But it's up there at the moment. You can go over and watch it. You don't have to put your email in. You don't have to opt into a list or anything. You can just watch it there on the page. onlinepassionprofits.com/chat. And I call it the chat page because there's links there about how you can get in touch with me. We can have a chat. You can tell me what your passion is. I can tell you how we can apply it to the 3-2-1 passion profit breakdown. And then you can see if you might perhaps want to work with me going forward together. So there we are. Let me know what you think. Have you ever seen yourself back on video? And what do you look like? Do you think, yeah, it looks okay? Or do you think, oh my God, that looks horrendous. I'm never going to do that again. Or have you got past that, oh my God stage? So you're used to, well, you look like what you look like. And in a social media setting, which is a key element of my online passion profits model, it only matters up to a certain extent. Okay, signing off for now. Wishing you, as ever, health and happiness. I'll speak to you with another video tomorrow.